Blues rock has been my go-to genre pretty much since I started playing guitar. My early guitar mentor, Mike, turned me on to some of the greatest music I'd never heard. Some of it was jazz, players like Kenny Burrell and Grant Green. And even the smoother side of jazz, guys like Lee Ritenour and Larry Carlton. Add a bit of country and sprinkle in some singer-songwriter stuff like the wonderful and talented James Taylor. And I suppose you could say I got a pretty well rounded musical education right from the start. But I was in my late teens, and honestly, I was most attracted to the heavier sounds of blues rock. Whether it was the more southern side like the Allman Brothers, At Fillmore East, Eric Clapton's Journeyman album, or Gary Moore's Still Got the Blues, I loved the energy and the heavy dose of guitar muscle that I was hearing on these albums. And in 35 years of playing guitar, I've gone down the road of almost every genre at one point or another, whether it be jazz, blues, country, rock and roll, R&B, surf, punk, metal, jam band. I've tried it all and enjoyed it all. But like so many of us, I always feel most at home with the blues. So today I want to share with you my list of the top 10 blues infused albums that have affected me in the most profound way. They aren't all necessarily blues in the traditional sense, but they definitely all lean heavily into it. All right, so in no particular order, here's my list of 10. Number 1, Allman Brothers at Fillmore East. Probably no other album spent as many consecutive hours in the cassette deck of my 1976 Toyota Corolla in about 1991, as did At Fillmore East. This record is a tour de force of some of the best blues-based guitar playing interplay you'll ever hear. Amazing tone and killer chops are on full display in equal amounts from start to finish from both Duane Allman and Dickie Betts. And though it's hard to pick a favorite track, I'd say In Memory of Elizabeth Reed is 13 minutes of as good as it gets in my book. Number 2, John Mayall and the Blues Breakers featuring Eric Clapton. So when I first heard this album, I was blown away by the tone. Clapton set the bar for a million other guitar players with this first example of Les Paul into Marshall's sonic goodness. His playing was explosive and dynamic and was a precursor to the supergroup Cream that was to come, which many believe, myself included, showcased Clapton's best playing ever. But back to the Beano album. Clapton's playing just kills on every single track on this recording. Raw, energetic, soaring singing, and bearing witness to all of Eric's influences. Whatever you think of as blues rock today, well, this album was ground zero, the very beginning of this sound. In particular, check out the track Steppin' Out, where Eric takes flight and never lets up. Number 3, ZZ Top's first album. I remember hearing the opening licks to the song Brown Sugar for the first time. This song wanders into the room with a mellow swagger that catches fire at 1 minute and 43 seconds. The Reverend Billy Gibbons launches into a swampy, up-tempo groove that, if you have a pulse, will definitely get your head bobbing in time. The tones on this record are heavy, but not necessarily in the modern sense, what you might be thinking of when I say heavy. But it's heavy in the sense that it's, well, big sounding. It's the sound of Pearly Gates, Billy Gibbons' 59 Les Paul, plugged straight into a Marshall Super Lead Plexi. To say these tones are epic would be an understatement, and for me, this is the definitive sound of Texas blues rock. Number 4, B.B. King, Live at the Regal. For me and many others, BB is the undisputed king of the three kings and blues guitar in general, and this album showcases a master in his prime. BB is in peak form from start to finish. His tone is unbelievable. His voice is equal parts robust and angelic. His band is in top form. Everything comes together on this masterpiece recording. So BB was using a pretty unique guitar on this album, a 59 ES335 with a Bigsby in Argentine gray. And that was plugged into a Tweed Twin. And this represents some of the finest blues tone I've ever heard. Stinging and razor sharp with a sense of urgency that grabs you and just never lets go. Check out the opening track, Every Day I Have the Blues. BB comes out swinging, establishing himself as a master bluesman and entertainer, and frankly, for 35 minutes, never stops. Number 5, Stevie Ray Vaughan's The Sky is Crying. This was the first SRV album I ever heard, and his version of Jimmy's Little Wing alone is worth the price of admission. You can hear the buzzing of his amp in the quieter moments of this track. And if you close your eyes, you almost feel like you're in the room. It's a masterclass in tone, phrasing, and dynamics. The song rises and falls in intensity and takes you on an emotional roller coaster ride. And Stevie's version of the song Chitlin's Con Carne was my introduction to one of my all-time favorite guitar players, Mr. Kenny Burrell. Stevie's playing on this album is as good as it gets. There will truly never be another SRV. Number 6, Kenny Burrell, Midnight Blue. All right, so we might as well get into the jazzier side of the blues since I just mentioned Kenny. I have a deep love for soul jazz, where some jazz can feel inaccessible to all but the most fanatical jazz devotees. Kenny's brand of jazz has always leaned heavily into the blues, and there's a familiarity in it. And for the blues enthusiasts, Kenny's playing hints at jazz, while for the jazzer, Kenny's playing hints at the blues. And for me, he's the perfect middle ground between the two genres. And check out the closing track on this album, K-Twist, for some of the best Rudy Van Gelder era ES 175 into Tweed Deluxe tone you will likely ever hear. Number 7, Freddie King, Getting Ready. Freddie's voice is so soulful and elegant throughout. The standout track for me here is The Key to the Highway. Freddie's ES 345 playing has a wonderful vocal singing quality and an interesting hollow mid-range honk that cuts through the mix like a hot knife through butter. And while he didn't actually write the song Going Down, which was originally written by Don Nix, he definitely immortalized it on this album for most of us. His version is fiery and aggressive with liberal doses of stinging guitar, and it's a masterclass for anyone wanting to dive into blues rock guitar playing. Freddie is cited as a major influence by many guitar players, but maybe none more than the great Eric Clapton, which leads me to my number 8 pick, Eric Clapton's From the Cradle album. In 1994, Clapton shook off the polished pop sound of the Journeyman era and dove headfirst back into the blues. His voice is gravelly and authoritative from start to finish, and his ES 335 tone is equal parts gritty, stinging, and elegant. This album is Eric reconnecting with his first love, the blues. Check out the track Tore Down for a masterclass in playing over an up-tempo blues shuffle. Number 9, the 77's 88 album. Now, this is one I would say that many of you will not be familiar with. Now, the 77s are a Christian band, but don't let that dissuade you if that's not your thing. This live album from, you guessed it, 1988, is a mix of blues, rock, rockabilly, and even a little country flavor. I was loaned this CD by my friend Paul, and I don't think it left my CD player for months. It was everything I was looking for. Mike Rowe's lyrics portrayed the struggle of grappling with being a Christian in a world that makes it difficult to hold that line sometimes. He's saying of our own fragility and the trappings of the human condition. And Christian or not, I think it's an album that anybody can relate to, especially if you're a guitar player with killer riffs and solos and incredible tone throughout. There's definitely some masterful playing, and I would cite the track I Can't Get Over It as one you should definitely check out. At number 10, Robben Ford and the Blue Line, Mystic Mile. This may actually be my favorite blues rock album of all time, and I can say with definite certainty that Robben is my favorite guitar player. Every track on this album is a masterclass in tone and phrasing. Robben's playing is a mix of robust, edgy, stinging, jazz-tinged, outside, elegant goodness, and I, like many others, can't get enough. Check out the closing track on this album, called Mystic Mile. It's a laid-back groove that is loaded with some of the tastiest blues playing and tone you've ever heard. All right, Sarah, there are certainly hundreds of albums that could have made the list, and certainly you're thinking of a lot of those right now. And you know what? Potentially some of your picks and mine may intersect. And that's the beauty of music. There are so many albums that means something special to us and connect with us in a really emotional and meaningful way. All right, and on that note, comment below and let me know what some of your favorite blues flavored albums are from the past or even now. Who are some of your favorite players? Why do they resonate with you? What do these albums mean to you? I'd love to have some conversation in the comments about just that. And before I forget, if you're not subscribed to my channel, but you're enjoying the content that you're seeing here, please subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you can be notified of new videos coming out. I'm really looking to grow my channel in 2026, and you can be a great help in making that happen. I really appreciate you taking the time to check out this video, and I will see you next time.